Hey, welcome to New Jump City, everybody, where we recap the week in American and Japanese sequential art. I am your host, Christian Espinal, and joining me through Discord, it is the man, the myth, the legend. It is Joshua Gangsta Time Cole.
Partner, but it should be called Gangsta Time.
What up, Chris?
Hello, friend.
What
Happy
up,
New
Brian?
Year. Wow, we made it. 2021. Also joining us through Discord is my brother, our producer. It is Edgelord Big News Brian.
What's up, nerds?
Yeah. All right. New Year's, same old show. I'm very happy to be here. It's been it's going to be a fun week. We got a ton of really cool ass manga to talk about. We got a bunch of American comics to do. So let's not waste any time. Let's get into plugs really quick. You could find me at the Chris Espinal on Twitter and Instagram. Joshua Cole, where can they find you?
That's at JD Cole_37. And that's on Instagram as well.
Hell yeah. Brian.
You can find me at b.esp on both Instagram and Twitter. And whenever I decide to stream in this decade, you can find me at twitch.tv/itspunchline.
All right. And you can find the show itself at New Jump City on Twitter and Instagram. Follow us on Twitter, especially because every week we do a really good chapter of the week audience poll. So you guys can vote for your favorites and we'll read them on the show. For example, I have the results for this week's Jump magazine results. So, you guys can vote for the next one. They go up usually every Sunday around noon. And you can also vote for other cool shit, like the manga that's going to take up Chainsaw Man's place in our weekly lineup. That is decided, and we're also going to announce today. Yay!
No way.
Yeah. If you have any questions, suggestions, anything you guys want to talk to us about, recommendations for things to talk about on the podcast, please email us at newjumpcitypod@gmail.com or comment on the video below. Leave us a 5-star review on iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts. We're everywhere, basically. So find us on all those things. Leave us a review. Let people know. Share the pod. If you're watching on YouTube, please hit that like. Hit that subscribe, share the videos. It's a lot of fun doing this show. We want to build a little bit of a community. That's the goal this year, to truly become a city of nerds that really like this shit. To gather a city of nerds. But I think that's it for now.
I'm not sure how well that one would smell, but
I mean,
I think that was very well said.
we'll just have to, I guess we'll have to really double down on a sanitation department. But you know what? We'll have a city. And I will be your mayor. But in any case, that's it for now. Let's get on with the show. Before we do the randomizer, over the last 2 weeks, we have held a poll to decide what will be taking over Chainsaw Man's position in the weekly lineup. We did 2 rounds of this. I didn't do a third because one series won handily over the others. The choices were Mashal, Undead Unluck, Kaiju number 8, and Sakamoto Days. And the winner of the Chainsaw Man replacement poll is Undead Unluck.
oh my goodness! Oh my god!
Wow.
I don't have an applause sound.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you this. I thought Undead Unluck was the dark horse, but apparently people really like it. It won a majority of the vote both times we ran this poll. So I think Mashal was close second. Kaiju number 8 was like third, and Sakamoto Days, which was, I was like low key, like I hope that wins, but it did not. It's crazy. Who did you hope that anything else would win, Josh? What was your favorite?
Yes, Sakamoto Days.
Really? Wow. I thought I would have figured that you would want to pick Mashal.
I like Mashal, but Sakamoto Days I feel like was really funny.
Yeah.
It would have been a nice addition to the lineup.
Agreed. Brian wanted kaiju number 8. I think he's just left to the silence or dog, but he desperately wanted kaiju number 8. We basically picked this based on what was available in the Shonen Jump app, so those were the choices. But thank you guys so much for voting. Next week Jump will be off, and we'll be doing a series recap for Undead Unluck, as well as a recap of the previous chapter that came out this week. So tune in next week, and we'll talk about Undead Unluck then, and it'll be officially part of the podcast. But in any case, that was the poll. Follow us on Twitter for any more fun poll stuff that you want to be part of. And without further ado, let us randomize.
I hope he turns his sword into some guns.
Dr. Stone.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, this is
I
Dr.
haven't let off with that in a long time.
I know. The randomizer was good to it this week. This is Dr. Stone, chapter 180, Sickening Yet Beautiful. Last we left off, the kids arrived at the Andes Mountains, and they were going to make their way into the Amazonian rainforest to try to evade the eyesight of Stanley and this radar guy who are traveling by biplane. So, now that they've made it inside of the forest, they are no longer under their detection. They can't find them as easy. Everybody's just wondering, like, yo, isn't it dangerous to be just walking around in the forest with our weird burlap sack shoes that we got? So Senku's like, absolutely, you could die. There's snakes and shit, and, there's a bunch of parasites around, but no fear. Somehow, in the middle of all of this, I whipped up a fucking rubber boot. So, go Senku.
Yeah, it makes sense. They made the rubber before with the tires recently.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with it because, like, they've made... It's not like compared to the fucking airlift they had to make, basically. This isn't, like, hyper complicated. So, yeah, they get to use it, and Senku starts talking about, like, hey, do you guys know what the most strongest creature in this Amazonian jungle forest is? Taiju's like, it's gotta be Sokasa, but apparently not. He identifies the most dangerous animal in the jungle is army ants. Because he's Gen is like, shit, they attack in giant swarms, reducing even beasts to nothing but bones. Did not know that about ants.
Yep, I learned. Yep, I was educated about that.
Yeah.
When I read this.
Yeah, don't fuck with ants, dude. So Senku basically makes that bug spray. He basically creates bug spray, so they splash it on themselves. And, they continue to ride down the Amazonian River. They make headway decently into the forest. And as they get closer, Senku is like, get excited because soon enough we'll get to inspect the crime scene of the big blast that turned everybody into stone. And sure enough, after a little bit more exploring, they arrive. Big 2-page spread of this pyramid, I think, where I don't know what we're supposed to get. It looks like a very sparkly pyramid, surrounded by stones, and there's a lot of petrification devices just splayed out on the ground.
So what I think it is the case is that they're not covering a building.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that many of them piled up.
Yeah, it's a pyramid.
That's what I believe it is. It's literally like just a heaping.
Yeah, petrification
what
pyramid.
Looks like like that many.
Yeah, I mean, damn. These are all small too. Like these devices, they're like keychain size. So they're just to have this many of them to make like a building, like a pyramid that's several stories high. It seems. Jeez Louise. How many did
They're
they
literally
make?
all over the ground too, by like where they're at. Like,
yeah. Wow. Yeah. Next chapter is going to be a big one. I guess this is more like kind of like the transitionary chapter to get us there. I imagine next week we're going to learn about the big stones, the petrification event that's caused it. Who's behind it all? How did the Y-Man do it? If he was responsible. It's going to be a great one next week. But till then, that's all I really got to say about it. You ready to move on, Josh? Or do you have one more thing to say?
I want to see the Y-Man.
They'll get to him. But in any case, it is time to randomize Dark Knight's Death Metal. Yeah, this is it. This is the final issue, Dark Knight's Death Metal number 7. And last we left off, we had a couple of tie-in issues to talk about when it came to death metal. But we kind of pick up where the last one left off in terms of just everybody fighting this dark multiverse army and Wonder Woman in her new truth form, I guess, facing off against the Batman who laughs.
Yeah. I would call it that.
Yeah. This 2-page spread that opens... Oh, it's not a 2-page spread, but like this big panel that opens up with everybody fighting a war while like there's a giant Wonder Woman and Batman who laughs just distant in the background is pretty cool. Very chaotic superhero comic-y type of thing. At some point, like, the Batman who laughs punches Wonder Woman so hard that she goes all the way back in time, 160 million years ago. Damn.
Oh, it was a super satisfying moment, I'm sure, for Christian.
For me? Why was that?
Oh, yeah.
No, I like the Wonder Woman truth form. Wait, what are you talking about?
No, I said a satisfying panel. So right after we see her truth form get knocked into the fucking prehistoric age, we see the Flash fighting against, I guess, an evil version of Wally, where he's fighting on the a literal exact version.
You know what? I was actually confused by that.
Manhattan's power.
I was actually literally confused by that. I thought they were good guys. I thought he was a good guy now. Is this just like another Metron Wally?
Yeah, it has to be. Yeah, he's just like...
Yeah, thanks. I wrote a note about
Wally.
that.
He literally says, "You're not Wally. You're just a bad idea." I was like, "Oh,
dog." I mean, between this issue and the last issue, they are throwing Tom King under the bus. They are distancing themselves from him.
Oh my god. Yo, you know, oh my god, if they run into each other in the office, you know it's gonna be there's just no way.
Yeah.
Tom King.
They're just gonna criticize each other's writing. They're not really gonna throw hands.
Marvel, man.
That's wild. I didn't even.
You don't think it's time to Marvel, man?
Yeah, man, it's wild. I didn't even. I know I had that as a note, but for whatever reason, the Metron Wally is a bad guy now. But it's not the real Wally. It's kind of confusing. I don't know why DC's taking shots.
It's just the evil version, you know. I'm the version that did this and was evil, you know. Whatever.
No, that guy had like just a Beretta and was just running around and shooting people and being like, "Ha!"
Oh, that's a different one. That's the one that killed his people. Just the Wally that probably killed his people, redeemed himself, sat in the chair, and was like, "You know what?
I'm gonna stay this way."
You
know what?
Me now.
I don't like the world anyway. I'll be Metron. But yeah, that's happening. That we get a lot of like cutting between every major family of the DC universe fighting their evil multiverse selves. The Kal-El family is fighting against basically a Superman who is like the sun. Bat Family is fighting against the Robin King. Flash is, I guess, fighting Tom King himself. So yeah, the battle continues going until like Wonder Woman is now just in some weird alternate, like this weird dimension, and then she's just like, "Where the fuck am I?" And Batman Who Laughs says like, "You're at the beginning of it all." And guess who comes down but the hand that made the multiverse?
Yeah, the one that's always featured from that old comic.
Yeah,
the scientist was looking back and it was like, "It's too far. You can't go this deep." And it was like a swirl. And,
I guess the Beyonders of the DC universe is these hand folks.
Essentially, way less mean, way more caring.
Yeah, and the Batman Who Laughs is like, "This is the hand. Her species are the ones who made it, and they're coming here to destroy us all unless I kill them first." And Wonder Woman brings up a good point, is like the reason they're coming to kill us is because people like you keep wiling out and trying to use their energy. And Batman Who Laughs is like, "Yo, I don't even really know what he wants anymore. He just wants to restart the universe in his image, I guess. But he's why? Like, why do you want this? It's very weird. So yeah, we get more like fighting between everybody. Everybody seems to be losing. First of all, Superman, like our Kal-El takes the Sun Superman into the fucking space. Batman Who Laughs is just surrounded by an army of Robin and the Robin King and his Groblins. It's not looking good for everybody. And he's like, join me and we can kill the hands together and save everyone. And Wonder Woman is like, no. And she just kicks the hand at Batman Who Laughs.
So he gets basically smacked.
Not just smacked. He gets like pimp slapped. By a giant hand.
Palm.
Yeah. How easy is this hand to manipulate? Just like a low kick by Wonder Woman is just like, oh shit.
I guess if a dog, dogs, like if you look at a small dog, it can knock your hand out if you just put your hand forward. You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
They're just putting their hand in, and he's like, where's that darn universe? Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I guess I found it.
Touch something dirty and nasty.
Ew, is this truth? Meanwhile, we get to see the Swamp. There's an evil Swamp Thing fucking up the Swamp Thing. And Harley Quinn.
Speaking of hands.
Oh yeah,
Batman
speaking of
hands, one of his.
Yeah, Robin King goes full bleach and cuts off one of Batman's hands, but it's okay because he's a zombie.
Yeah.
He's a zombie and he's fine.
It should be okay for everyone in the Soul Society too, since they're already dead. But I'm not gonna open that can of worms.
I mean, I'll say this: Batman shows more of a reaction. He's like, "Ow, this sucks."
Yeah, he doesn't look very cool with it happening or nothing like that. It's just
He's
very.
Like,
I actually got my hand cut off.
Yeah. The final son looks at Superman. He's like, "You're dying, Kal-El," and Superman's like, "Whatever, dude. I'm taking you with me." All right, Superman. He's not playing games. And meanwhile, Wonder Woman manages to punch Batman Who Laughs back, and it sends him to the end of time, basically. And it takes him to to this big sun thing, and it's the sun that kind of envelops worlds. That's where like destroyed Earths of the multiverse go when they get destroyed. Is this fucking sun? And she just like tries to push him up against it, and this is actually hurting Batman Who Laughs finally, which is I guess a good sense of scale. The only thing that can really kill him is this thing that kills all multiverses.
Sure, makes sense.
Yeah, fair enough.
I feel like Dr. Manhattan would have a hard time handling.
Yeah, this is a tough time.
Okay.
So yeah, she's basically like, "This is where you die." And Batman Who Laughs is like, "Better hurry then, because they're here." And out of the corner of her eye, she sees the hands. And Batman Who Laughs is like, "Yo, this is your last chance. They're here, and they'll kill everyone. But if we work together, we can kill them, and then make the multiverse in both of our images. It doesn't have to end this way." We then cut back to Batman, who is like down. He has no hand, and Robin King is like, "Say for me once, just once," in that voice, "I'm Batman." Say it for me. And Batman's like, "Yo, you know what? I'll do you one better. I'll pull a Batman on you. You thought that I kept the Black Lantern ring on my hand? I planned for you to cut off my hand." And it turns out Batman has planted the Black Lantern ring in the center of his chest. He presses the button, and the Black Lantern ring activates, creating an army of the undead. Again, recreating the army of the undead Gotham folk and the Groblins that they killed up to this point. So
yes, essentially saying, I knew you would go and slaughter my entire family and friends and the rest of the DC hero and villain landscape because it's so epic and cool.
Yeah,
so I prepare for that.
Yeah,
because I am Batman.
Yeah, I read your book and I saw how you easily, at 10 years old, killed the entire Justice League. So I have the Black Lantern ring with me. And, last but not least, he resurrects a zombie Alfred with a shotgun. And that's when I was like, yo, Robin King's in trouble now.
Oh yeah, he's about to get a spanking.
This 70-year-old zombie with a shotgun. Very excited. Meanwhile, yeah, Superman is flying into space. His cells are overwhelmed and are dying. And the final son is like, "Look at you, Superman. You're gonna die here, ugly, pathetic, and alone." And Lex is like, "He's not alone." So he swats Superman away. He's like, "Go, get out of here. I'll take him on."
Significant fly.
Yeah, he basically is like, there's no way this universe ends without me getting to kill at least one damn Superman. So he swats our Superman away, and he basically explains that the suit that he brought with him is made out of is powered by a shrunken black hole named Sun DX6. And Final Son is like, "Haha, that would be ridiculous. Who would do that? It would kill you if you did that." And Lex
everything.
and Lex is like, "Yeah, now you're getting it." And then he presses the button, self-destructs his suit, and presumably kills himself and the Superman.
Let's go, Lex. Let's go.
Yeah. Flex Luthor.
So we take those.
Yeah. So yeah, he's dead. So I guess he gets one of these, but not really. We'll get to it.
Oh, well, a lot of people. Yeah.
Well, someone does get it.
We'd be doing that for a lot of people.
Speaking of, I guess, the Mario death, Batman Who Laughs is like, "Ah, shit, I'm still in this sun." Wonder Woman is contemplating.
I love how she's just grinding his fucking head into this, energy force. And then these DC Beyonders are just out there watching, like, you know how, like, in school, how they'll be fighting the hallway, and people would just kind of, like, move up and just watch it go down, like, oh.
Oh, man. Oh. One of them has a cell phone out.
Yeah. Like, wow, this is pretty sick.
Multiverse star. It's pretty good. They are just standing there watching this happen. They're not doing anything. And he's like, yo, wait, I just want to see what happens. And basically she starts thinking about his offer as like time goes on. And, she's like, shit, I really could fix everything if I just joined forces with him right now. Nah. And then she just shoves his face in even deeper, killing the Batman Who Laughs, and thus allowing the hands to destroy the multiverse as we know it.
I get it. She's just like, bro, I'm not sharing nothing with you. You're fucking pure evil. I'm not allowing you any type of vision I have, and it's not worth it.
Yeah.
With you being in charge of anything. Fair enough.
Yeah, she just
I get it. Split decision. She did what she had to do.
Yeah. And
finally he's dead.
And I guess that's the end of the entire multiverse and the entire DC universe as a whole. No more DC. Just kidding. For a long time, there was nothing until slowly she became aware of herself. And we cut over to this blank void as Diana seems to be coming back into consciousness. And she's apparently talking to one of the hand folks who is like, "I'm here with you, Diana." And one woman's like, "Please, this reality, we do falter, but there is goodness. Please spare us." And the hand is like, "When we create a multiverse, we hope that you guys, transcend your selfishness and seek greater truths. Your multiverse, even after being restarted, has often failed to do so. We tried rebooting you guys over and over again. It doesn't ever really work, but, this time around, I think it did, and we're going to take the form of something in your universe that we admire." And this hand takes the form of like a really golden age version of Wonder Woman, which is very nice as Wonder Woman is staring herself down.
What time period did that come out in?
Hmm?
What time period was this golden age?
Early, like, whenever, I would say maybe like the 30s. I mean, I don't know. I kind of get the ages mixed up, but this is like.
So it was a golden age for comics, not really for people, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Okay. I hope we have to remember.
Yeah.
Shit wasn't sweet for everybody.
For sure. But in any case, they explain there that they take her form because, your kind fought for good, and knowing that, you could have killed us and restarted the universe the way you wanted to, you didn't do it, and we'd never seen that shit before. We wouldn't have done it for you. I'm telling you right now. we would have killed you guys. It would have been donezo. But yeah, basically she goes on to explain that from now on, this is the DC Omniverse. We're creating everything is continuity. Everything ever that the DC universe has ever done counts. We've never done anything like this before, so the possibilities are great. Does that sound good to you? And Diana's like, yeah. You mean we're not dead anymore? Okay. The alternative being just this blank void. I'm down. The hand says, cool. So, there will be a great cost to this, though. And one of them is like, whatever. If it's my life, take it. And the hand is like, yo, chill. You're not going to die. Calm down. You're actually going to... We need you to ascend to a greater... to a higher life form, it seems. And to help them protect reality, this fresh new reality from a new threat. Whatever what can beat what just happened, I don't know. But
yeah, right.
There is a lurking threat out there.
The frozen creature.
Yeah, the shit that the hand is afraid of. They're like, whoa, this is crazy. I don't want to deal with it. His name is Brian Michael Bendis. He's so yeah, one of them is like, yo, whatever you need, I'm here. And she takes their hand and they just disappear into the void. And we get a little bit of a narration. This whole comic has had this big narration. We'll know where it's from later. But it basically explains that after the whole multiverse was restored, everybody had a big old Straw Hat style party. There was, the Justice League were a band for the day. It was pretty cool. And at some point, Barry the Flash walks up to Wally and is like, yo, come with me for a sec. I got to show you something. And they go up to into space, into this new headquarters. That's, I don't know if I'm wrong here, but it's shaped like the Black Lantern symbol.
To me, it looks like the Justice symbol.
Yeah, it's the Justice symbol. Yeah, I thought that too, but it also kind of looks like the Black Lantern symbol. But yeah, I mean, whatever. It's the new headquarters called the Totality, which is both the Legion of Doom and the Hall of Justice combined into a space station, where not only the Justice League preside, but also Lex Luthor, Talia al Ghul, and Vandal Savage. So they exist to kind of monitor the multiverse. And they explain basically the structure of the Omniverse now. Essentially, the mainstream DC comics that we know was always kind of the center of the multiverse. It is no longer the center. But there seems to be two centers now that aren't them. And one of them seems to be an Earth. The other they're not really sure of. But they never seen anything like it, and they don't have the tools to really examine it yet. So for now, they're calling it the Elseworld, which, if you are a solid comic reader, the Elseworlds is an imprint of DC where it's basically their what ifs, like how Marvel does, like re-exploring different ideas. What if Batman was a Green Lantern, all that stuff. That's what the Elseworld was. So this is going to be interesting. I don't know if it's going to be exactly what the Elseworlds was, but it's interesting to see. We then cut over to Earth Zero, and it's revealed that Sergeant Rock, this entire time, this whole narration was an entry that Sergeant Rock made into the journal of Carter Hall. And, he gives back the journal, and they all go, he joins the Justice Society of America in fighting World War II. And that's where Death Metal ends. Wowie. What? I had some weird thoughts about the story. It's a weird thing for me. I'll say this. I feel like the objective of the story is different from what they may have intended. Because this always felt like it was supposed to be like the conclusion to all of Scott Snyder's work at DC, but it eventually became like a conduit to ramp up to DC's continuity overhaul, and I don't know. It kind of falls flat for me because it all felt like eventually just turned into a big commercial for what the DC universe wants to be now. like the Batman Who Laughs, while he went out in a, like, I guess a physically cool way, there was no like real depth. I wasn't invested in him as a villain.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
They did too much with him, honestly, man.
Yeah,
Too much before this. It was an overload.
Yeah, it's hard to recommend to like people who are new, because Death Metal really, you have to have read all of Scott Snyder's stuff up till now, like that he did for DC for the most part, to really understand it. And they're good, but you know, I don't know if it's worth it. You know, I don't know, but that was Death Metal. It was all right. You got one more thing to say about it before we go?
No, I feel pretty much the same as you, man.
Yeah.
I don't have many words for it, unfortunately.
Yeah. We're going to do this as a 2-for-1. The very next book that we actually have on the docket is this one-shot, Generation Shattered. This is a long one, so
Yeah, it really was.
I'll keep it a little, for the most part, brief. The story centers around Kamandi, who is kind of like the staple, like, post-apocalyptic DC character. He gets rescued by Booster Gold, an old man Booster, who takes an arrow to the shoulder and then just dies. I'm like, all right.
To the heart, man. I think.
I thought that was like his, because I guess it's drawn weird, because I see that it's going like to his, like,
oh,
right
a lot
here.
of things were drawn weird in this comic, man.
Oh my god, yeah. I mean, I guess, but yeah, assuming that he got hit in the heart, whatever. He then transfers Skeets, who is now an arm piece like Warlock is in X-Men, transfers him to Kamandi and says, go complete the mission. And the mission is that someone is threatening all of time. So Kamandi is now tasked to create to put together a team to take on this new threat. And a lot of this issue is him going through time to gather this team. And some of them are a mistake, and I'm just like, why doesn't Skeets just tell him exactly who to get right now?
Yeah, what is the fucking problem?
But a couple people are a mistake. And, you know, he starts at the 31st century. He's supposed to get Brainiac 5 from the Legion of Superheroes. He gets Superboy instead. And I'm not sure if this is Jonathan Kent or Clark, but they don't really make that distinction.
I think it's Clark.
Yeah.
From back then.
Yeah, that's what I figured. But anyway, he grabs them. He gets Steel because they couldn't get Brainiac 5. So he grabs Steel from like 1985 when the Death of Superman story was going on, and there was no Clark Kent. He goes to get Dr. Light from 1987. Hector Hammond shows up, and he also understands the problem that's happening, which I don't think I explained, actually. There's supposed to be this big white flash that's taking over everything. There's this chronal storm that looks a lot like the Crisis on Infinite Earth's anti-monitor thing. So this whole time he's just been gathering people before their timelines are destroyed. But yeah, he gets Dr. Light. He tries to get a Superman from an undisclosed time. I don't think they really explain what time period this Superman's supposed to be from. And Superman stupidly just runs straight into the fucking chronal storm and gets himself killed. So Booster Gold from that time period is taken instead. He then goes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, go for it. Sorry.
Nah, man. I just thought that was fucking ridiculous, man. He didn't listen at all. He just, I'm just gonna run straight into this shit, and
yeah, I'm just gonna try to punch it.
He didn't know.
I guess, because I'm super mean. He then goes to the 80s again. A lot of the characters he gets are from the 80s. He grabs Starfire from the Teen Titans as they're fighting Deathstroke. He gets Sinestro from no time period explained, but while Sinestro was still Green Lantern, he picks him up. He gets Batman when he just started being Batman from like Detective Comics 10. From Detective Comics 27. I don't know why. And, you know, now that the team is entirely gathered, Batman from Detective Comics is like, explain. And Kamandi's like, I don't fucking know. Skeets just said we should get people. There's a chronal storm out there wiping everything out. And then at some point they meet up with the linear men, who are this time centric team, I guess, that have been like possessed and taken over by this time villain. And they just pull up and attack, and this new time team has to fight this old time team. And it's drawn by
pretty much.
It's drawn by John Romita Jr. The action parts are drawn by John Romita Jr. and I'm like, why? I don't understand. You have better artists to do action for, but yeah.
Some of these aren't bad. There's just certain panels that look terrible.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Like I feel like a lot of it is decent. And then you'll see one that's like, whoa. Like there was one where someone looked really long and weird.
Yeah.
Like they looked like a pinky.
But yeah, in any case, that's when the Dominus guy breaks in. He's like the main villain of whatever this one shot is. He's like, I control all, the flap of every butterfly wing. I am God. And yeah, everybody's like, yo, why are you doing this? And I don't know if he explains it as why he's doing it.
No, he's just doing it just because.
Yeah,
as far as I know.
Yeah, because he's a dick. So he scatters the new time team across time and space. Starfire, Superboy, Booster Gold, Steel, Batman. They all end up in different time periods. And the reason for this being is that Dominus is like, they are scattered now, and there's no way they can stop me. So, yeah. And Dominus decides to, like, clock out for the day. He goes through a door, and then he takes off his crazy supervillain uniform. He opens a door, and he's just this, like, Dick Van Dyke fucking dad, essentially. And I'm supposed to be like, whoa, but I don't understand.
Good old days.
Yeah. Ooh, I mean, I don't know how to feel about it. I thought it was all right. I wasn't like crazy about it, but I don't know. Maybe this will have some importance down the line. It looks like they're building to something. It seems to have a lot to do with like the future state stuff. I'm not sure if I'm particularly interested to pick it up. If you want us to talk about future state, let us know. But just know that I'm not thrilled about the prospect. But in any case, that was Generations. I don't know. It was fine. I don't really have a lot of opinions.
It was okay.
You guys ready to randomize?
Oh, yes.
Let's go! My Hero Academia. Brian, I think you're on mute, by the way. This is My Hero Academia, Chapter 2.
Brian. Academia.
Oh, welcome back, Brian. This is My Hero Academia.
My bad. I didn't realize I was muted.
Were you talking this whole time? Did you talk at all?
I wasn't talking this whole time, but I just realized I was muted.
Oh, whatever. This is My Hero Academia, Chapter 296, Hellish Hell.
Hellish hell that smells helly.
A helly hell. A helly hell that smells helly. That's pretty good. But anyway, we get a little bit of a recap of what, the aftermath of the Paramount War, or not the Paramount War, the Paranormal Liberation, whatever war thing that just happened.
I think it was like a raid, right?
They call it the Paranormal Liberation War. That's the title of this arc, apparently. But yeah, they explained that like the Nomu were everybody joined forces to take on the high-end Nomu. 7 were able to escape. 3 were destroyed, but 7 of the high-end Nomus, along with Shigaraki and his people, managed to flee. Gigantomachia.
Some of his people.
Yeah. Gigantomachia, Mr. Compress, and what's his name? Damn. The fucking
Redestro?
Redestro. I don't know why.
Redestro.
Yeah, I like his name too. I don't know why I forgot it, but Redestro, Redestro, Getten, and Trumpet were all also taken in, which is an interesting cast to bring in. Like we just got
Cementos bodied this dude.
Oh my! Wait, which dude?
Fucking.
Oh yeah, you're right.
He got him drowning in fucking cement.
I mean, it's looked like it took a lot out of Cementos. He's like impaled.
Oh yeah, he looks like he's hurt.
Yeah.
Damn, yeah, you're right.
I didn't even notice this the first time I read this.
Yeah,
honestly.
me too. I didn't notice that either. Cementos is on the ground. Whoa!
He's like, ow.
I've been stabbed.
By the way, we still haven't seen what happened to the killer whale guy.
Gang Orca, you're right. All right.
Yeah, we still haven't seen what happened to Gang Orca.
Wait,
so.
well, we'll get to
He
it.
didn't pass away.
Yeah.
Ooh, they caught that superhero that was posing.
First of all, I think like
he looked like Mr. Incredible.
Yeah.
Edshot.
Slidey guy.
Edshot was the guy who beat Redestro, it seems, which is pretty cool. And like a ton of 16,929 people were arrested during the raid. However, 132 of them, including high-ranking advisors, were able to escape. Their bases scattered around the country were hit too, and sympathizers, including Slide and Go, whatever this guy's name is, he got
Slide and
taken.
Go,
Yeah, he got taken. Mr. Incredible over here is like, no. He is out, but the chaos is still reigning. There's still so much fucking damage everywhere, and there are a bunch of like rescue heroes scrambling around. The first of which we see is Uraraka just coming in with the smooth slide, saving these children from dying. Good for her. And she's just like working. She's trying to do her thing. This is the kind of hero that Uraraka wanted to be. Is the rescue.
Yeah.
Kid. So
I was thinking about it. I'm like, not every hero, not every character has to be a fighter, and that's kind of like what My Hero Academia has kind of been trying to reinforce in us. Like, sure, there's characters that are more inclined to be in a fist fight and shit, but there are heroes who prioritize saving lives over fighting.
Yeah.
And Uraraka is one of them.
For sure. She's trying to save everybody. And as she's like doing her damnedest, she sees this hero just kind of standing there like traumatized. He's like, yo, this is too much. And as he's like looking on in the chaos, and Uraraka just stares at him kind of disheartened, he says, I need to find a new line of work. Yeesh. So yeah, I think that's another effect that I didn't even consider from this war, is that heroes might not want to even fucking do this anymore. It doesn't sound so cool anymore when everyone's dying.
Yeah, like it's easy when you have All Might around, right? But once he's gone, the whole world, like people forget, like before All Might, the world was a really fucked up place. Like, or at least Japan was. I don't know about the entire world, but before All Might showed up, like villains were the shit. Like they were kind of dominant.
Yeah, that's true. There was like a hero industry, but like All Might changed everything.
Yeah, he made he gave heroes more power in the situation.
I mean, arguably, it's why like All for One couldn't really pass on. One for All couldn't pass on in an orderly manner, is because it was so chaotic that All for One, for All people used to just drop and just pass on their powers last minute. So it's kind of wild. Yeah, you're right. It's kind of reverting back to what it used to be. And the real gut punch of all of this is that we cut over to
oh my god,
to Kirishima and fucking Ashido and Yaguruzu and Sugar Man looking on down, and all you see is Midnight's mask. And,
oh man, that one hurt. This one hurt.
Like her spine.
Yeah, I agree. This was a painful one. But not just her. We get a little bit of a postmortem for a bunch of heroes that have passed off.
Majestic.
Yeah. A lot of them.
Who's the eye guy?
X-less.
Not Dinosaur Head.
Not.
Who's this guy with the ripped mouth too? Like he looks familiar. I feel like we've seen him before.
We did see him before. This is someone that Toga killed and took their body or something, or like changed into them.
Oh yeah.
Is that Daft Punk?
I know it was Daft Punk did.
What about the guy with the sponge on his forehead, like next to the dragon?
That's not a sponge.
Or it looked. I just called it a sponge just because
That's like old samurai
easiest
armor
thing for me.
or something, like a headband, like a ninja headband.
Yeah, like the dude from the Sound Village had with the blasters.
Right. It's just on his head now.
We've seen him before too, right?
We haven't seen most of
Yeah.
these guys.
He looks familiar.
Well,
Bro, these are all. Come on.
They're not big name characters, but some of these guys look familiar. Like we've probably seen them before, but we never really got to know
yeah.
what
You
kind
need
of
to read
characters they
this
were.
series again, man. These are all very
No, they don't. I'm
characters.
almost
Not
sure.
as important as Class 1A, but they all played a role in a plot at some point through the series.
I'm actually
And
sure
I'm
they did.
disappointed that you guys don't remember that.
No, I'm sure they show up in My Hero Academia Vigilantes, and they were super important the entire time.
Oh yes, absolutely.
They were secretly the most important characters of all time.
Mm-hmm.
that
They put in mad work, and this was big. This was huge for a lot of people who understand the deep lore.
I feel like we're
of,
being mean about it.
My Hero Academia.
Yeah, but in any case, all these heroes are dead, and then we cut over to some civilians talking about like, yo, shit's getting crazy. What's gonna happen to Endeavor? That Dobby thing sucks.
Yeah, we
Like,
got to cancel this dude.
Yeah, yo, Endeavor's canceled, dude. And
Hashtag Endeavor's over party.
yeah, some people are considered like, yo, we should just move out of Japan, which is more than anybody has ever said about New York and the Marvel universe. It's like, yo, we shouldn't
True
live
that.
here anymore. And we get a little shot of Midoriya just like out. He is out for the count. So is Endeavor. They're already like he's like beat up on the ground. It's like he better have a statement about this tomorrow. Which I think that goes back to what Shigaraki said about like heroes being just this kind of like public figure-y celebrity thing, where they're so dependent and kind of spoiled because heroes exist to always protect them that they're weirdly detached from reality, where they're like, even when he's bloody and beaten on the ground, they expect him to explain himself the next day. It's like, damn, chill. But we get to the final and craziest part, and I'm gonna have to eat some crow here because it turns out Brian called this. All right, be graceful. Have some grace.
Prison Break, baby.
It didn't make sense to me at the time, but apparently, All For One is speaking through Shigaraki and is like, "Yo, it's my turn now. No, my dear, hear me, my tireless Nomu. It's time to free my real body." Yeesh. Yeah.
I have another theory, and this one's well, I've heard this one before actually, so never mind.
Okay.
But it's not my theory, but it is a theory that makes sense, right? So, the theory that's come up about a Prison Break arc is centered around All Might and Stain,
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
because All Might was already going to go there. That's called Tartarus, right?
Yeah.
He was gonna go visit Tartarus because Stain requested to see him, right? And by this point, there's a chance that he's there, that All Might is there, or he's going to be
True
there when they invade.
Yeah.
So
but
that arc is basically going to be Stain trying to keep All Might alive throughout the Prison Break.
Mhm.
Yo, that would be pretty cool. I'm interested in seeing Stain again. It's been a while.
Yeah.
And there's actually another thing that Horikoshi mentioned that's very interesting. He mentioned that we would see Moonfish again. You guys remember Moonfish?
Yeah, I remember. Moonfish.
Oh,
I'm here
yeah.
for it.
that is
That's
pretty
like
crazy.
there's a chance that this arc is going to be like a horror movie, like horror movie shit, like All Might trying to fucking survive in a horror movie as kind of arc, which would be really cool.
Yeah.
Like-
I mean, I'm here for it.
Most of My Hero Academia is so over exaggerated and like crazy battles and shit. But what if you're powerless in a situation against like a genuinely terrifying villain like Moonfish or One for All? Like
When you're the
that's some
symbol of
wild
hope
shit.
for an entire country. and you had that flag on your back, I'm sure he'll figure it out.
Yeah.
He'll definitely lean on Stain
Yeah.
to do it.
Yeah. All for One is going hard in the
see.
paint. Like, I love his dialogue where he's like,
He
yo,
is.
I'm not letting them rest, dog. I'm going in.
But yeah, I'm gonna keep applying that pressure.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm excited.
Actually, I have one more theory.
All right, Brian.
That I just thought of. I'm thinking, like, what if, like, if this prison arc actually happens and it's All Might stuck in this place, I'm thinking this would be like a point where you see that kind of All Might and Deku switch places, and like he starts to act more like Deku than he would as All Might. You know, in this situation, he'd be more analytical. Like you would be able to see like pieces of All Might that he saw in himself from Deku. You know,
That's interesting.
It's funny.
Like this would be, this would probably be the arc that reinforces why he chose Deku over like Mirio or something like that, right?
Probably. But I think like All Might didn't pick him because All Might, from what everybody says about his early hero days, is that he was kind of like using All for One, and he was just so fucking overpowered that he didn't really even have to do that. So it's an interesting position where he'll have to use his wits to survive. But yeah, I'm excited. If that's the case, I'm down for it. I love a prison break story, so I'm here for it. Moonfish and Stain.
I had the
together.
thought that there's this. I feel like All for One is definitely trying to overtake Shigaraki, in that there's more of a dynamic to be played out there.
Yeah.
So I want to see if something happens when they actually reaches his body.
Yeah. All for One's trying to Orochimaru his way in. It's fucked up.
Yeah,
yeah.
man.
Chris brought up a good point. Like, I don't know what he's gonna need his actual body for. At least, I guess he's just trying to keep his body around for a bit until the full transition happens with Shigaraki. But
yeah,
I guess my thing was like I would understand why who wants to be in prison. Like All for One would want to leave, but I'm like, the idea was that like Shigaraki would be the one to do it, but then I was thinking like, why would Shigaraki do that? Because he's trying to break away from All for One. So why would what incentive would he have to break him out? But I guess if All for One is orchestrating this, and he's the one who's calling Nomu to get him as opposed to just getting Shigaraki to do it, that makes more sense. I'm interested. I mean, I'd love to see it. I mean, my hero, this whole arc, I've enjoyed it more. I can't wait to like read it in full because I feel like that's probably the best way to absorb this arc. As it's coming at you fast and furious, like it was intended, as opposed to like this week to week kind of wait situation. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what's next for my hero. Not a bad start, or not a bad post-mortem for this arc. You guys ready to move?
Actually, I have one more question. Where is Shigaraki in this last panel? Like, is he on his way to Tartarus right now?
Shigaraki?
Yeah,
I don't think so.
Is he riding on the Nomu straight to Tartarus?
I'm not sure, but I think it's irrelevant because he's either about to move out or they're on their way.
I know what happens.
Okay.
So if you look at the top panel, you can see that you can see Dabi and Spinner there.
And Dabi has black hair all of a sudden again.
Yeah, he does have black hair all of a sudden again. Good call, Brian. This panel is very small, and I also have kind of there's like sometimes these small panels where sometimes you don't notice things, but yeah, they seem to be like chilling in the safe zone, like they made it far enough that nobody's chasing them anymore.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's about it. That's all I gotta say about my hero. You guys,
yeah, same here.
All right, it's time to randomize the X books, I believe. Oh no, I'm wrong.
Okay.
Sorry, not the X books. Venom.
All right.
My bad. This is Venom number 32, I believe it is. I'm pulling it up now. I don't have my iPad as usual, so it's gonna be a little hard for me to transition. But this is Venom number. Fuck. Damn, I keep clicking the wrong book. Number 32. I was right. Last we left off was the Iron Man tie-in, but we're not. It's not very important. Last in King in Black, a lot of the time was spent just picking him up and just being and the killing of Eddie Brock, just dropping him from a building. And the last Venom issue actually found us kind of like, damn, he's dead.
Yeah.
He flatlined.
Flatline.
And, everybody say it. But in any case, we cut over to all the way back in time where Eddie first hit that car and he Kingdom Hearts his way through the fucking, where he signifying that he's dead. And he's like, yeah, shit. He's actually watching the world of the living disappear from him, like rise higher as he falls. If that's what death is, geez Louise, I do not want any of that.
Yeah.
Just falling
That
in.
does not sound like a fun time at all.
No. Yeah, who knew this comic would be a bad advertisement for death? But it turns out he just like falls all the way back into Earth, it looks like, and he's like, what happened? Am I alive again? And he looks up, and Rex from the beginning of the Venom run has been waiting for him there. And basically what happens is Eddie's starting to phase through people. He can see Rex, but he phases through people. He's like a symbiote ghost, essentially.
Yeah, he's inside of the hive now.
Yes.
As a spirit or whatever.
Yes, pretty much. And he's not alone there, and neither is Rex. All of the people who are currently taken over by Null are also in the hive, including the Thing and everybody that he has there. Captain America is also part of the hive. So, Rex is like, there's nothing you could do for them. The only reason we're alive is that we've been controlled by the symbiote for so long that we can just kind of survive here a little easier than most people. And Venom's like, no, I've been trapped in here before and I've beaten this. I gotta go get my son. And, Rex is basically like, yo, you gotta let that shit go because, we got you're dead. Everybody knows you're dead. So, it's time to let go of this material world and do some work within the hive, essentially. And Venom Eddie Brock still refuses. He's like, I'm not going to let them take it. And Rex is like, take what? My death. I won't allow it. And I'm like, cool. He's like, I'm not going to fucking die like this. We're going to figure it out. We're in the hive. We're special symbiote folks. All I have to do is get Venom back, right? If I could get the other, then, we'll be square. And Rex is like, yeah, it'll be hard to get it free because it's like right next to Null at all times. But, yeah, and Eddie's like, damn, how am I supposed to get up there alone? And Rex says, you're not alone, kid. Like I told you, there's still some symbiote friendlies in the hive. And the first of which, I don't know if there are more, but the first of which is a pretty sick fucking drop. As it turns out, someone...
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, so out from the silhouette comes in Agent Venom Flash Thompson. In his anti-Venom form, which is pretty fucking sick. Yeah, I mean, this was pretty fucking awesome. Honestly, you know what? Certified VGI for me.
Ooh.
Certified VGI.
Kind of hard to hate it. I thought it was pretty cool. And the art is awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
The art's on another level in this issue. But yeah, Flash Thompson back. In his cool, like, anti-Venom, like, battle suit thing. Color me interested. I'm here for it. King in Black is turning out to be a very fun event. And it turns out it's going to be short. Like, King in Black is like 5 issues long, the main series. And, there are a couple of tie-ins. Like, Return of the Valkyries also came out. That was good. But it's not, like, ultra crucial. If there's any tie-ins you have to get, it's the Venom ones. But it's a solid event. It's going to be kind of short, so it's not going to blast your wallet into oblivion. I'm appreciating it. I like a good compact event. I like a 7-issue beast with tie-ins that may or may not be super important. But that's all I got to say about Venom. It was very fun to read. Josh, do you have any thoughts? you have any thoughts?
Negative.
Negative?
Negative.
All right, then. It is time.
I
What?
mean it's. I want to see some more action. I didn't really care for this chapter. I mean, for this issue that much. I mean, it was, it was a transitional one, but nothing exciting.
All right. Without further
Still waiting
ado,
for more.
it is time to randomize. World Trigger.
Ooh.
Yeah, this is World Trigger chapter 205, the away mission test part 3. Last we left off was the big away mission exam draft. We did 2 rounds of it, and now this is going to be the third and final one. And with that, I pass you over to the commissioner. It is Edgelord Big News Brian with the draft picks.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to. Well, thanks for returning to the World Trigger
Away mission draft.
draft. There you go. All right, we have already selected the first 2 rounds, and now we will get into the third and final round of the draft, starting with Wakamura Squad. With the first round pick, they select Hyusei.
Yeah, Hughes was picked first. Good call for
The
Rokudera.
rising star from Tamakamatsu.
Yeah, I mean Hughes has like shown out in the last 2 rounds of the B rank wars. So I imagine picking. First of all, he had his eye on Inukai, and then he was like, "Nah." He realized that like
Too many guns.
yeah, too many guns. I need a guy who has a sword. So he picks Hughes, and I mean, can't go wrong with Hughes. Very smart fighter, and very demanding too, which is interesting. Rokudera seems like a person who's very unsure of himself, and Hughes doesn't like that in a leader. So I wonder how that's going to actually turn out. Because I remember when he first joined Tamakoma, he was like, "Osamu, if you don't fucking command this team, I'll do it. I'll be leader."
So yeah, I'll gladly take the lead.
Basically,
I was like, that's my job.
I call the
I'm gonna
shots.
take that from
That's all I got. It's calling
me.
shots.
Yeah, right.
um,
All I got.
I mean, that's my pick analysis. I mean, can't go wrong. It's an easy one. What's the next pick?
The second pick of the third round, Kuruma selects Yuba.
Hell yeah. Fucking McCree himself.
Jeez. Why wasn't he picked first? Hyusei was picked over Yuba first.
Yeah. I mean,
He was considering picking up Yuba.
he was considering picking up Inukai.
Yeah,
Inukai and
that's
Yuba.
why.
He mentioned both.
Inukai is the gunner, but Yuba is just a fucking monster. He could beat people at mid range too.
Yeah.
Mid range and close range.
Yeah. I mean, can't go wrong with Yuba. Also a captain, which is pretty cool. I wonder
Yep.
how he will vibe with Kuruma. He's a Suzunari 1 captain. We don't really actually know a lot about him, even though we've seen his squad battle a lot, but we don't know a lot about him as the leader. It's interesting. But move on to the next pick, Brian.
For the third pick in the third round, Sua Squad selects Katori.
I feel like this was a plot decision because she and Osamu don't have like a good relationship, so there will be some character development for both of them on that end. But Katori's not a bad pick either. She has like an attitude problem, but aside from that, she's a very talented agent. Apparently, she actually killed Sua, I think, in their B rank war. So it's kind of interesting to see. But I think she's an all rounder, right? She's got like multiple.
Yeah, she can do everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's just very talented, but she doesn't like put in a lot of work. And she has kind of like she's very hard to work with. But if she could put that aside, that's pretty cool. I wonder she's gonna vibe with Suwa. Suwa's a very like hardcore leader type of guy, a very aggressive leader, I think. But
He's gonna straighten her out.
yeah.
Like, alright.
What is the next pick, Brian?
The 4th pick of the 3rd round. Kodera selects Kitora.
Two very similarly named characters picked one after the other. Kitora's an A-rank agent. It's kind of like a no-brainer a little bit, and she's also very skilled on her own. So yeah, I think she's like the OG like Spider Master, so that's pretty cool. She taught Osamu
the wires on the gun.
So yeah, I'm interested. And I don't know how. I know Kodera's a sniper, so I wonder how he'll be. He seems like a pretty laid back guy, so I think Kitora will work well with him. Brian, what's the next pick?
The 5th pick in the 3rd round. Kakizaki selects Inukai.
I'm surprised he went down this far. It seemed like he was like a coveted one. He's a pretty talented gunner. He's on the B rank number 1. But yeah, Inukai gets a thing. I don't like him because he's cocky. He's cocky and he's got a devil-may-care attitude, but he's very talented.
I hope they keep wearing suits, even though they're not on Ninomiya squad.
Yeah, I wonder if they have to change their uniform. These new teams. I will say Ninomiya is the cleanest squad.
Yeah, just a straight suit.
Yeah. And as long as I got my suit and tie, Brian, pick the next pick.
The 6th pick in the 3rd round. Murakami squad selects Kazuki.
Kuraochi from OG squad. He's the guy with the salamander bullet.
Yeah.
He's pretty cool. I mean, he created his own bullet. That's pretty fire.
Yeah, for explosions.
Gotta have that around.
No pun intended, right, Chris?
What?
You said that's pretty fire.
Because he created his own bullets. I didn't know. I actually don't remember what the salamander was. I didn't make a pun. What's the next pick, Brian?
The 7th pick in the 3rd round. Mizukami selects Teruya.
She's on Kakizaki squad, I believe, and she's among one of the younger people in B rank. She had a very smart moment against Chika, I believe, where Chika was using the weighted bullets, and she saw that, but so she blocked it with a concrete, like piece of concrete.
Yeah.
And because like those bullets are the only ones that actually affect like non-Trion targets. So she's very smart. It seems she has like a great intuition. She's a rookie. It looks like she's like one of the younger ones. So, but she's got a lot of heart and she's very smart. So, I think this is a good pick.
Word up.
Next pick, Brian.
The 8th pick in the 3rd round. Ninomiya selects Thirst Bucket. I mean, Enma.
This was cute as hell. It was the most wholesome fucking pick in the whole draft. Man, and Chika like lit up when she got picked to his squad. It was so cute. It was very cool. And Ninomiya, like, kudos to him. He was like an asshole this entire time since he showed up. But then he saw Emma. He's like, I'll be a good wingman.
Right. He felt his aura of like,
pick me.
Please.
Very wholesome.
Why did he pick up 3? Wait, like obviously this was like just a whatever pickup, but
fuck.
He has a lot of snipers.
Like, I'm gonna win. Like whoever I get, I'm gonna put it together a strategy and we'll figure this out.
Yeah, I mean Ninomiya is an extremely skilled agent in and of itself, and he also has Azuma, and he has Chika, a Trion monster, and probably the best agent in the B rank squad, or easily.
So what's his lineup? What's his squad then? It's him,
Azuma,
sniper, and then
the third lady here is an operator. So he's got 3 snipers. And that's all he has.
So it's just him and 3 snipers?
yes,
Mhm.
because these guys
What
are
the
only
fuck?
allowed to pick 3 people. So
How the fuck is he gonna pull this off?
I mean, he obviously has a plan because this third pick, he didn't even care who he picked in this, because all he wanted was, I guess, Azuma and Chika. He wanted the 2 probably strongest people in the B rank squad, or the most crucial folk. But yeah, most wholesome pick. I can't argue with it. Very shocking considering Ninomiya's general like sourpussness to be like,
Mhm.
I'll throw you a bone, Emma. Pick the 9th pick, Brian. What is it?
For the 9th pick in the 3rd round, Kitazo selects Minamisawa.
He is the attacker for Ikoma squad. I mean, I like it. I think he'll vibe well with Kitazo. I think Kitazo's a very like chill kind of guy, and the Ikoma squad people are very chill folks who are all very talented in their own right. So I think he wanted somebody like who was talented, but not too rigid. I like it. I like the pick. Next pick, Brian.
For the 10th pick in the 3rd round, OG selects Yukari.
Obishima, who got rocked twice, who got rocked pretty easily against Yuma. But
Isn't this the girl that got Josh triggered?
yeah, this is the one who triggered Josh.
Yes.
I mean, I think actually she might be the least experienced person, but she has a lot of heart.
But she's so talented.
I think people are
Has
seeing.
so much more potential, even more so than Yuma.
I would figure you like characters like her, just like a hardy.
No, because he's
working
doing a little
hard.
too much. It's a little too many people now. We already got the small little girl to root for, and that's Amatori.
Yeah, but they didn't make a big deal out of her. She made a good play.
They made a pretty big deal.
No, not out of Terria.
It was epic, bro. Nah,
Yeah.
I'm just pulling you out.
I know. Obi's got a lot of heart, and she's not like the toughest competitor, but she'll put in the work if you give it. And OG's her captain, so I think OG knows how to use people very well, and he's a very good strategist. So I think he'll just find a slot for her essentially. And what's the final pick?
Shinosuke.
The 11th pick in the 3rd round, Utagawa selects this guy,
Well,
Tomo.
actually, Utagawa had the last pick, so he got Tomoe, who's kind of like Terria's teammate. They're all on Kakizaki squad. Another talented one, and one of the younger ones as well. We haven't seen much out of him, but I'm sure he's good.
He's going to surprise some people.
Maybe Utagawa's an A rank captain, so he may be able to make something out of him. I'm here for it. And now with that, the squads are set. Won't go through all of them, but there's a big 2-page spread that has just like a good list of who's on what team, and Masafumi is like, yo, so the everything's set. The time and location of the test will be sent to your devices today at 3 p.m. Are there any questions? And there is one from a new character. His name is Wataru Urishima, who is on one of the squads. I don't really remember where he ended up, but he's on the B rank 14th squad. He's the captain and he's a gunner. And his question is like, yeah, so earlier said that even if we turn down this mission, this test would amount to a gold star. Does that mean I'll be getting a chance at A rank? Will I become an A rank captain after this? And they're like, and we also get a little breakdown of the compensation system for Border. B rank agents are paid by commission of how many neighbors they defeat. A rank mission,
Which sucks, man. Like, what the fuck? Y'all not on salary?
yeah, A rank captains or A rank agents are on a fixed salary, and they get commission for the neighbors they defeat. Pretty sick job, but it's a hard job to get. So I guess like that's the reason.
Yeah, fair enough.
The best jobs are often the hardest to get. I'll tell you that. So yeah, basically he's like, yo, I'm not doing this shit for free. You know, he's negotiating his fucking contract, dude. It's really funny. And I like Commander Keto. He looks at them and he's like, yeah, you're right. I guess.
Okay.
I guess we tried to pull a fast one on you. We can't. How about this? We can't give you a salary and we can't make you A rank unless you do the test, like the selection exam for A ranks. But how about this? For the entire time that we're doing this mission, we'll give you a stipend of 10,000 yen. And if you win or if you're like good enough to be selected and you still turn down, we'll give you half of that stipend, which is 5,000 yen a week. I don't know really how much that translates out to. I would say that's probably $100 a week. Brian, if you want to Google like the conversion between that.
Sure.
But yeah, basically they're getting money, and then Urashima's like, okay, I can fuck with that.
So it's basically $96 per day.
Yeah. All right. That's pretty
Nice.
cool. Yeah. So, they work out that. So basically the people who are participating in this not only will get paid for it to a degree with a stipend. Even if they refuse to go on the mission, they get essentially $50 a week on top of the neighbors they defeat. Which is pretty cool. It's not bad.
Yeah.
I like that the border has always been kind of just open and they're not just this hoity-toity, like, no, you're lucky to even be here and die for us. I like that they respect their agents a little bit. It's very cool. Osamu actually asks another question. He says, will the other A-rank agents be joining us for this test? And Masafumi says, yes and no. Those in the A-rank who are not here at the moment will participate in the Phase 2 test. Whoa! Eventually they're going to have to fight against A-rank!
Hell yeah.
But during Phase 1, they'll be judging all of you. So essentially the A-rank agents are going to be proctors for the exam. We get a big 2-page spread showing all of them, including A-rank squads we haven't seen before. We actually finally get to see Midorikawa's. That's pretty cool. And I think this other squad is supposed to be the Trapper squad, the one with the white uniforms and the coat. It looks like the one that's next to Tachikawa.
And the number 1 agent is there too, right?
Yeah, Tachikawa squad is there. All the A-rank agents are proctoring this exam. Except for the ones that are obviously.
That's dope. I'm so excited to see that. Well, I hope like that replaces kind of like the desk thing. I don't know if they're gonna do that, the whole like commentary stuff. But if they aren't gonna do that play-by-play stuff, it would be cool to hear like these guys' input on like these things.
I think we're definitely gonna get that to a degree. It just won't be like like a sports commentary type of deal, like the B-rank wars was. But yeah, that's interesting. And remember, the Phase 1 of the exam is basically learning the functions of the ship and cooperating with each other and living with each other. So it's more of a social test than anything of how captains are probably able to lead and how former captains probably take leadership. Because any B-rank agent that comes along in this is probably not going to be up on the hierarchy. Their supplementary forces probably at best. So it's interesting to see. It's going to be a very different round, and it'll be a while probably before we see any action in World Trigger. But yeah, I mean, this was a fun couple of chapters between the draft. I really enjoyed this moment. World Trigger has a weird charm to it, like an administrative charm to it. I really appreciate. Makes it one of my favorites. It's so different from everything else.
I have no idea how these team dynamics are going to play out, so I'm just super. I hope we get back to 2 chapters a month.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying.
Well,
so you get
I'll say this.
little bit more.
This chapter was longer than most, 22 pages, I believe. So I mean, maybe I'm hoping to make it a little longer, but I don't want to push this guy's health anymore. So I'm just happy to be here. I'm just happy to have this.
I'll tell you what though, this guy did a really good job in making me very interested in what's going to happen with Suicide Squad. He did a very good job.
Very interested. I think
I fucking love Suwa.
I think Rokudera.
Suwa's
Brian
fine.
touched on this last month, but I think Rokudera is probably going to get a little bit of a special focus because for one, he chose Hughes, and Hughes does not like weakness in captains. So, and Rokudera is a person that seems very unsure going up again. Even in this draft, when picking people, he was just like, "Fuck, what do I do?" So I think that's the build up there. I can't wait to see the wholesome team, which is Ninomiya, ironically, who's got Emma and Chico board. I'm really rooting for those kids. Very excited. But
I just you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking like maybe Ninomiya is gonna run a squad where he uses himself as bait for snipers or something.
who knows? I can't imagine Ninomiya.
I feel like that would make sense because
well, they're not doing a combat thing. And it depends on what. I don't think they're going head to head against A-rank squads in the second round. So because this test is kind of pertaining to what an away mission would be like. So it's interesting to see what like. I think Ninomiya doesn't care who he lives with. He just plans on, just getting over with. He's a leader, so he's just like, I'm not gonna.
Man, it would be a shame if there isn't a battle simulation with these mix-ups. That would be.
There
so
will be.
fucking
Phase
cool.
2 is a battle phase, but yeah, I don't know. This first one is interesting. But that's all I gotta say about World Trigger. I'm ready to move on, boys.
Yep.
Boys, let's move. It's time to randomize. The X books. Finally, actually,
Now
it's
we do
time.
the
Now
X
we're doing
books.
the X books. We're starting with X Factor, number 6. This is X Factor number 6. Last we left off, Siren was murdered, and we don't know who did it. The next we cut over to the next day, or just a new day in the X Factor building. Everybody's just chilling, having these little character moments with each other, being a team. And then they get called out to London is it? So they go out there and they find that Siren has been murdered again.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean that's literally what Polaris says. She's like, "Oh fuck, why not again?" And yeah, they're just like really trying to figure out what just happened. And apparently Siren lied to them before, and they had to take it. After Siren was resurrected, she lied about being in an accident, and now she's dead again. So it's not escaping them this time, and they're basically doing a crime scene investigation in conjunction with the police of wherever they are, and they freak out the CSI lady who's trying to look for microscopic clues of a sort.
Yeah, the forensic scientist.
Yeah, and they get iBoy to help her out because he has microscopic vision. He can just see whatever she can't at the moment. So yeah, Polaris is kind of feeling some type of way because she was my friend and she's just lying to me all the time. But she's lying to me about dying twice. What the fuck is going on? And North Star basically tells her she probably didn't mean anything by it. She didn't want to make you conflicted between your duties as an X Factor person and her friendship. You know what I mean? She didn't want to make that relationship kind of complicated. But he basically comforts her, and they start to split off into their own separate ways. North Star tells Dakin basically okay, so the second she's resurrected, I need you to tail her and figure out what the fuck is happening. And Dakin's like,
Smart.
and this is cool little character moment is look, man, I want to be wrong about you. You're you were a former villain, and I want my cynicism to be displaced. Prove me wrong. And Dakin's like, you got it. I'll do it, bro. Rachel splits off to go and give Siren to the healing garden so they can do an autopsy. And what's this kid's name again? Prodigy.
Overcharge.
Prodigy.
Prodigy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Prodigy asks if he can go with her. Basically, he wants to be the forensics expert for the X Factor team, which is cool. I think they need that. None of the people on this team actually have that experience. So, and Prodigy has the ability to learn, and that's his mutant ability, is that he absorbs the knowledge and skills of whoever he's next to. So, yeah. So he basically follows her. And as they leave the crime scene, finally, this fucking anti-mutant guy, basically this mutant racist, is like, get out of here, go on, get. And basically they have to be like, yo, we should get some official badges so people take us a little more seriously and they don't just shout racist things at us.
Yeah.
And iBoy's like, you got it, I'll make the fucking badges. So yeah, Prodigy and Rachel are hanging out as this one lady is doing an autopsy on Siren's body, and Prodigy decides to ask her something. We cut over to the boneyard, and we find out that the thing that he asked her for is to have to take some of the mutant corpses and basically have them as cadavers for him to study in the backyard of the boneyard. And Northstar is like, no! Why do you want all these corpses here? Did you want to say something, Josh? I'm sorry. I think I cut you off.
No, that's I forgot what I was gonna mention before, but this is pretty intense, you know. I mean, sure, it's called the Boneyard, but god damn, man, like you want to do all of this research right over here, you can't go find another fucking building or warehouse.
Yeah.
Something like that. I can understand Northstar on that, but it is a pretty important job.
Yeah, he's basically like, we don't actually know what happens to mutant bodies when they decay and when they degrade. So, like, it would be kind of useful to know that if we're going to be a mutant Law and Order, essentially, and do some investigations. So it would be good to know about the degradation process of mutant corpses. And after a little bit of bickering, Northstar is like, all right, fine. And they agree. They get their little cadaver yard set up, and all is right with the world. Later on, after Siren is resurrected, the X-Force team confronts her and is like, yo, so what's really going on? And the next few pages...
You got a whole attitude.
Yeah, Siren aggressively denies everything they tried to, like, ask her about, you know, and it doesn't really show suspicion. Like, it doesn't really make her less suspicious of anything.
Yeah, like, what the fuck, bitch? Like, we're trying to figure out how the fuck you keep dying, and you have an attitude like you're not trying to figure this out either. It's really weird.
Well, it's not that she's even trying to not find out, because as apparently 4 members of the X Factor can do, they in their own special ways, they're all lie detectors.
Damn.
Which is pretty useful for an investigative body.
Yeah.
That's pretty sick. So they all determine unanimously that she's lying. And yeah, she's lying, and she's also afraid of finding out the truth. So Polaris just runs out to confront her, and she's like, yo, why are you fucking being this way? And yeah, Siren's like, yo, just worry about the resurrection protocols and leave the hero stuff up to the big guns. And this should not have pressed that button, because Polaris uses her like head things. Those are weapons, apparently. And she just starts like crushing the ground around Siren and basically trapping her in this weird metal blade ball thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, whoa. And Polaris is like, yo, I almost split this world in half. Do you know who you're talking to? I'm Polaris. But Siren apparently uses her powers, because her things are like Banshee. She does the siren, the big yell thing. Her sound powers. She also has this weird hypnosis thing with her voice, and she basically like mind controls Polaris, and is like, yo, if any of the X Factor folks look into my death again, you're going to have to sabotage them aggressively.
Damn.
Ooh-wee. And she walks away.
Expeditiously.
Yeah, expeditiously. And she walks off, and she's like, I win. Mind control. I like this issue a lot.
Yeah, it was pretty lit.
Yeah. It was a really cool. I genuinely don't know the mystery. I think it's a very interesting one too. Why does Siren want to die over and over again? I wonder why. It's very interesting. This was very.
I thought a demon had taken over her or something at first, but when the letters turned to red, but I realized she was just using her power.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if it weren't for Venom, this probably would have been my RGC. I did enjoy it a lot. I like how it's unfolding. But with that being said, we're moving on to Hellions number 8. And
this was my VGI.
Oh, word?
Yes.
Certified VGI.
All right. Well, last we left off with Hellions, the Hellions were on a mission to retrieve Nanny's ship so that she can make a new suit for Orphan Maker, because if he doesn't have that suit, he's going to destroy everything. He's the one mutant that Xavier is like, yeah, I mean, like, mutant powers are a gift, but Orphan Maker's something else. We got to contain this motherfucker right now.
It's straight up a curse.
Yeah, it's not good. And this is coming from the guy who made an island for all of you to live on. And thinks,
even Apocalypse.
Yeah. So on their way to do that, they run into Cameron Hodge, who is a villain I'm not super familiar with, but I know he's bad news because nobody likes him. Nobody likes this motherfucker. So this is a funny moment up top, is that while he's monologuing, Nanny and Wildchild just like run past him, and he's like, "I'm monologuing here." It's a funny little moment. Hellions has been very funny. I'm appreciating it.
Oh yeah.
And the rest of the Hellions are like, I guess we'll stay and smack him in the mouth. We don't like this dude.
Yeah.
So they start fighting their Cameron Hodge and his robot henchman. The robot henchmen seem to be like on the fence about killing mutants, where they're like, well, actually, their DNA is not that much different from humans, so
why are we
doing this? And Cameron Hodge is like, because I tell you to, and controls them further. That fight continues. Nanny and Wildchild break into and finally get to the ship, actually. When back at the battle, Cameron Hodge seems to have found Empath. And Empath is like, he's beaten up, and Cameron Hodge is like, look at you, beg for forgiveness. And Empath says, for what? You're the one who was about to have unnatural relations with a robot. And that didn't work on him. So he just basically has his robot cave his fucking skull in. And everybody's like, whoa, he's not going to make it. And kind of with his dying moments, Empath looks up and is like, I couldn't find his mind. And it turns out that the guy that's in front of them is not the real Cameron Hodge. It's just a robot that thinks he's Cameron Hodge.
Yeah.
And
Swears he is.
And Empath basically dies laughing at him as Cameron Hodge is like, I am Cameron Hodge. Hey, robots, you wouldn't shoot Cameron Hodge, right? And the robot's like, no, we would never shoot Cameron Hodge. And he's like, fine,
Right,
then
never.
shoot me. And then they're like, okay, you're not Cameron Hodge. Blah, 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 blah. And he dies.
Yeah, this nigga out.
Yeah. He dies. He dies right there. And Empath is like, yo, that shit was crazy. Bleh.
And he died also.
Yeah, he's dead too. One of these, I guess. We have great respect for the dead on this show.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I mean, Havoc goes up to one of these robots and actually starts building a friendship with them. And as soon as I saw that, I was like, as soon as I saw that, coupled with what happens immediately on the next page, where Psylocke is like, yeah, we had a secondary mission. Magneto had us come through and implant a Krakoan virus into their system, and I'm like, oh no, you're gonna make Havoc sad again.
Yeah.
And yeah, as this is happening, Grey Crow is like, well, you don't have to do it if you don't want to. I'll put in the virus. And Psylocke is like, no, I know you're trying to be a good guy now. So you don't, I'm going to keep you as far away from killing as possible. So I'll do it. And she does it as Havoc is literally having a sweet conversation with these robots. Psylocke pushes the button and exterminates this group of robots. We then cut to them inside of Nanny's ship. Nanny is like, Havoc has been pouting since we left Nevada. I could bring back his smile if I wanted. My precious discovery would do that, but he can't be trusted. And one thing I guess I neglected to mention is that on Nanny's ship they found something, and it turns out what they found,
oh boy,
is a baby version of this robot.
Baby robot of those things.
And Nanny, being, I guess, this weird nanny character, is like, I'm going to raise it. Yikes. Okay, so the reason that I guess the Quiet Council told her to take down these robots is that the mutants don't really look kindly on AI, especially since one of the features that we saw in House and Powers of X, they kind of fall to it. So whenever they see a new like version of AI cropping up, they decide to terminate it immediately.
Which is really interesting because there are a few forms of AI out there already.
Mm-hmm.
And is it like all forms of AI are bad? Like inherently, is that what their job is? Because Tony Stark was an AI for a little while.
Yeah, I mean, thank God he's not an AI anymore, because they would have been like, "Yo, we gotta get Tony today."
Well, what about Yokara?
Who's Yokara?
Or whatever, the robot lady. Yokari.
I don't know.
Whatever. There was a robot.
They don't like
Android lady.
They don't like these. They don't like AI at all. Which I guess, if you know that AI is gonna slaughter your entire people at some point, you'd probably try to get rid of it at all costs too.
Sure.
But I mean, there's still this baby left, so who knows what's gonna happen with that. The Xbox were good this week. I enjoyed both of them.
What about Warlock? He's AI.
Not technically. He's a mutant AI. He's not. I guess he's not like a man-made AI. Is that what they're going for? Is that
I guess
if these humans are making AI?
Think about it. Human-made AI is Okay,
there's this little quote in this information page that, like fire, AI is a discovery, not an invention. Let us not tolerate embers lest we face an inferno. They do not like AI.
Yeah,
they're trying to destroy.
Inherently bad.
They're trying to destroy Siri for good. They're like, get out of here.
Oh yes.
But yeah, I mean, those were the Xbox. They were very fun this week. I enjoyed both of them. Ready to move on, boys?
Oh yes.
It's time to randomize. Black Clover. This is Black Clover chapter 207.
Holy shit.
Holy shit.
Oh, we'll get to it. There were some holy shit moments in this, yeah. We got color pages. Cute little color page. We then
World Trigger had a color page.
It did, you're right. Both color pages this week was pretty cool. One Piece also has one, we'll get to it. We start off where we left off, blasting a hole through Zenon.
Oh shit!
Pretty gangster.
And is just like regretting that you ever meddled with the Golden Dawn.
Ooh.
Man, oof. Is it?
Mr. McShiesty? Okay.
Yeah, Mr. McShiesty. And Zenon is just looking up like, ugh. I'm sure he's gonna be fine. Anyway, we cut over to Vanica, who's basically being, shonen villain. He's just like,
Oh, she was real. She was a little more on the Shiesty spectrum.
Yeah,
a little high on the
Shiesty
spectrum with this one.
Yeah. Basically, okay. So Vanica's just like, I'd heard we had intruders, but none of you are Noel, so I'm not interested. So here, fight one of these 8 shining generals that we made a big deal of earlier in the series, but are now just my henchmen. And
She does mention that they're pretty tough.
I mean, not on their own, with her curse magic, and also, like, I know she mentions like it's her curse magic and some. Damn, I'm trying to find what she says exactly. Whatever she says, like now that they're infused with my curse magic, they're pretty tough. So, God. Oh, she said Morris's modifications and her curse.
You don't
magic.
care too much for her, do you?
No.
I think she's pretty.
Not particularly. It's fine.
Yeah.
So basically, she does. Both of these magic knights go off on them, but real easily kind of blocks it with his picture magic. It's a really cool 2-page spread, actually. His magic has always been like kind of interesting to look at.
His art for the magic, yeah.
So yeah, basically like, oh, I wish I could have fought that anti-magic kid and the dark magic guy who took out Dante. I wanted to turn them into toys. Oh well, I guess they're just gonna die. And Charlotte's like, ooh, don't talk about my man. And she gets so mad at that.
Oh yeah.
As she flashes back, he's like, oh, I've been fucking training with the runes. I mastered the runes.
Prisms.
And strangely enough, if you use the runes, they can kind of like enhance your curse magic, and I grew stronger because it kind of reminded me that Charlotte was cursed by Megicula to begin with, and a lot of her magic is stemmed from curse magic. So she uses the runes in conjunction with her cursed briar magic to just kind of make this big blue rose paradise thing. And it kind of sucks away the curse off of these 8 shining general guys. And the more of the curse that she sucks out of it, the stronger her briars get. And man, that's when Megicula shows up, and who's been hiding underneath her eye patch this entire time is like, yo, that shit's crazy. You're using my powers against me.
Right? Like, damn, that's hella fast.
Whoa.
Tell me more.
Tell me more. Tell me more. Yeah, Megicula is...
She's like, oh, I'll show you instead. And look at my fly-ass flower dress.
Yeah, check out my new form, Queen of Briars, which is cool. I like the thorn cape that she put on, the thorn skirt.
It's pretty lit.
Yeah, pretty sick.
Like the crown, too. Pretty cool.
Yeah, I just peeped the crown. Good crown. Just like
I
Yami.
think Yami would be proud.
Just like, Yuno also has a crown with his ultimate form. And basically she says, yeah, I'll save you and just show you how strong I am, Yami. And Rilla's like, whoa. Charlotte became captain without even using her true power? And Megicula and Vanica get super hype and just try to attack her, but the Briars start to ensnare her as well. And Charlotte's like, remember, the stronger the cursed opponent is, the more power I get. So she basically just wraps her up in this weird briar ball thing. And yeah, that's the end of the chapter. A cool special move where it's like, die without getting your wish. That's my punishment for you.
Yeah, hopefully she really is dead and crushed. But
we both know. Come on.
I thought it was hilarious because she's like, no, like she doesn't even give her the opportunity to fight her. You know what I'm saying? Like she's like, nah.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I like this chapter quite a bit, but I know for a fact that next chapter we're probably gonna get the Dante fight. He's gonna probably be bodied, and then something's gonna happen that all these guys get a power up and shit gets real.
Yeah, she's gonna break out of that ball,
which is not a bad thing.
Oh, the real fight begins.
Yeah, which is not a bad thing, but it is what's gonna happen.
Cool. You got any more tricks up your sleeve?
Oh,
She was gonna be like, oh,
you made me use my demon form, kind of. Where only my left cheek is a demon now, not my whole body, like my full demon form.
But this should be enough, I guess.
You made me use my elbow form, where only my elbow is a demon.
No, I don't want to throw dirt
I don't
on
either.
Charlotte. She did her thing.
No, I'm not throwing dirt on Charlotte. I'm throwing dirt on the Dark Triad. I know they're gonna do that
In the
shit.
dark trope.
The Dark Trope. But yeah, I mean Black Clover.
Remember Hody of the Sun Pirates?
Yeah. What about him?
He's on the front cover with
All I see is your
I messed
lock
up.
screen. Yeah, the Shonen Jump cover is like all the different artists drawing various One Piece characters. Jujutsu Kaisen guy drew Arlong, and that was pretty sick. He drew a good Arlong.
Oh, is that what's going on?
Mhm.
Wow. Who's the bunny guy with the scar? What the fuck? Oh, Asta was with the lady. Yo, that's mad cool. Undead Unlocked is a smoker. That's mad cool. I didn't notice that. This dude with the gun has kids, sure. Whatever that is. What's Sakamoto Days?
Sakamoto Days has. Damn, I'm trying to find it. Sakamoto Days has Ben Beckman from Shanks' crew.
Oh.
That's pretty cool. Anyway,
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Anyway, yeah, this is a really cool guy.
that was Black Clover, and now it's time to randomize One Piece.
Oh, yes, sir.
Chapter 1000.
Let's go.
He did it.
The king.
The king. Yeah, I mean, the last two pages, the last two chapters, the Shonen Jump gave a
king.
dedicated, celebrated moment where every Shonen Jump artist currently in Jump drew a One Piece character along with their protagonist. Basically, One Piece has a big-ass 2-page poster spread, which is very reminiscent of their first chapter. It's basically their first chapter cover, but with all the Straw Hats instead of the Shanks characters. He did this once before.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he did it once before with when the time skip first happened. He recreated that drawing, and now he did it again for chapter 1000. Very cool. Very nostalgic.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is chapter 1000. Straw Hat Luffy. Oh man. I guess right off the bat, this is my RGC. Very easy.
Oh, absolutely.
Same.
You an anime RGC?
Damn it! This is a unanimous RGC. Did you just throw your hat in the air? I think that's what we gotta do. Whenever there's a unanimous RGC, we have to throw it up into our hats in the air.
Oh yeah.
Like a graduation tassel. All right,
You
so
think Shaq is going to be pissed off that One Piece won unanimous MVP? I mean, unanimous.
RGC. I mean, yeah, this is. I mean, it deserves the unanimous. The chapter starts off immediately where Luffy is up against a staircase where all of the henchmen there were defeated by the Three Musketeers of Zou, the Darkstorm Three Musketeers, and Luffy's like, "Thanks, Lion Viper," and Shishilan says, "It's Shishilan," and he says, "Don't worry, I haven't forgotten."
Shishi line.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, Shishilan.
You got it wrong.
And he basically tells Shishilan, is like, "I remember, man." And he's like, "What? No, you don't." Like, he doesn't say it, but he looks like, you see the question mark, like, "No, you just got my, what are you talking about?" But Luffy's actually talking about, is like, "No, I remember how you guys risked your lives to protect Raizo." And I'm like, yeah, that was one of the fucking realest moments in the series.
That was, man. They did. They held it down.
Dude, I mean,
Man.
and Shishilan breaks down crying, remembering that too. Like, oh man, he remembered our fucking sacrifice. He's gonna do it for us, you know? It's a very sweet moment. We cut back to the battle between Marco, King, and Queen. And he has both of them in a fucking, like, Phoenix arm lock. Just like, just settle down. He says, "Easy now, easy."
Right? You got him yoked up, man. Yeah.
He said, "Little boys, settle down. Stop freaking out and let the man go." And he just launches Zoro through the hole in the roof. And then we cut over to Momonosuke and Yamato. And Yamato gives Momonosuke Odin's journal. And he's basically like, "Yeah, someone must have kept this journal safe from the burning castle. It contains everything there is to know." about Odin's life and what he experienced, including, you know, all the secrets that we are all probably going to learn at the end of this arc.
Secrets of D.
Yeah, the secrets of D.
D.
We then get one final flashback. As fitting as I could probably tell. It's 1,000 chapters, a little bit of a celebration. One of the more pivotal characters in the series. One more look of Ace and his final words about, you know, what's going to happen down the line. And he's talking about how there's going to be a bunch of pirates coming over. And, you know, Odin was right. They're coming. And one of them is my little brother. And he basically off screen tells her that he's going to be king of the pirates. But he's like, I wasn't supposed to say that shit out loud because I'm actually trying to make Whitebeard the king of the pirates. My bad.
Yeah.
But
You get hanged for that.
he said, forget you heard that, but don't laugh at it. Me and Sabo won't allow it. That's at the end of my little brother's dream. And he says, I really think he can make it happen. I'm like, hey.
Yeah, it was. You want to talk about wholesome?
God, wholesome.
Some wholesome brotherly love.
And it turns out we learn now that, like, well, first of all, Yamato's like, I will never laugh at him. You know, it was a sweet moment. And then
Which was mad respect.
Yeah. And at the end of it all, it turns out Yamato's the one who gave Ace his fever card. Yeah, I mean, a big connection between her and Luffy from the beginning.
Wow. So does this essentially solidify? Does this throwback with her solidify her placement on the crew?
Yeah, I'm sure that Yamato for Straw Hat probably.
Yeah, they're setting it up. They're setting it up for the moment when they get to Laugh-Tail, and Luffy says the same thing that Roger said when he got there,
well,
or something
laugh.
like that. You know,
laugh immediately because that's what Laugh-Tail does. But anyway, yeah, Ace leaves. You know, his business there is done. Kaido's not there, so he bounces for now. And Yamato yells at him, "Let's meet up again one day, Ace." And then one day, Ace's card just disappeared. She never saw him again.
real quick, does this mean that Viver cards come from Wano? Because it's a one-way, like, it's a lockdown country, right? Like, how would she know about Viver cards?
That's not a bad question. I don't
That
know.
is an interesting
Well,
question.
she is Kaido's kid. So, and Kaido's been around. So I would imagine.
Yeah,
that
so I guess
he has
if anything,
favorite
Kaido
cards.
could have brought it.
But yeah, basically she says Ace's card just disappeared. And shortly after that, I learned the news from the newspaper. I learned that Ace was Roger's son and that his little brother really made his name for himself as a pirate. That was Luffy, the man you brought here. As we get Luffy bursting through onto the roof. Oh my God, dope 2-page spread.
Oh,
Ooh.
man. Oh,
Chills down my spine as Kid, Killer, and Law and Zoro are already there. And
doesn't Law have a second hand, man? What was it?
that's the
Beppo?
one thing I wanted to say about this. Is like, I wish that maybe Beppo was here or somebody from Law's crew, because we don't get nearly enough of them. And whenever they're on screen, it's mostly like for laughs.
Mhm.
So I wish that Law had a representative from his second mate on here as well, to make it like kind of a complete cool set.
Agreed.
But yeah, basically everybody's there. 2-page spread as the combatants are staring each other down. Big Mom and Kaido versus the new generation of
They
pirates.
look so crazy and ominous in the background.
Yeah, man. It's,
I mean, but Law's always moving by himself. That's the thing.
that's true. No, I mean, I'm not
True
saying
that.
there's anything wrong with it. I just wish that would have been like just a cool thing if we saw more of his crew, honestly. But in any case, yeah. I mean, this is a cool ass moment because Kaido's like, Linlin, you want to know what this boy fucking said to my face?
Yo, I love this whole part because oh my.
Yeah. And,
I'll save it until the end.
ooh, me too. I have some shit to say. Yeah, Big Mom's like, ooh, he's a saucy one, huh? And he destroyed my fucking castle. You owe me an apology for that. And then Luffy just walks past them. Silence, nothing to say. And Kaido's like, yo, boy, say that again. And he's instigating. Luffy's just ignoring these these veterans, essentially. No respect.
Mhm.
As he goes over to Kinemon and he says, I'm sorry it took me so long. Are you all right? And Kinemon is just like kind of barely hanging on, and his friends are all defeated. He's like, alas, I have nothing to show Lord Odin but my shame. And he clutches onto Luffy.
Oh, look at this weeping Japanese face.
And he holds on to Luffy and he says, will you put this country on your back? And Luffy says, of course I will. This is my friend's country. And that's when
And then we get
Kaido...
at the risk of Shuisha. Dang, look at that face right there. This is what Luffy's fighting for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Kaido's right behind him. He just pulls up like, hey, boy. And before Kaido can even move, he just yells at Trafalgar Law to send them down below to safety. And Law does so. Law's like, yeah, I know. I think Law really low-key is just like, yeah, nobody's beating this man. He vanishes the Akazaya 9. Luffy dodges Kaido's blast attack, and he blows up his hand into the Gear 3. And as he's about to unleash his fist down upon Kaido, he gets these flashbacks of everybody who fucking sacrificed so much to get this far. And just to take down Kaido. He remembers fucking the young Don Yasui's death. He remembers everything, and he puts it all into this one punch. And this new attack is called Gum Gum Red Rock.
Red Rock.
With no K.
Is that his Rio now?
Yeah. It's
that
with the Rio
stuff,
and fire stuff? From like Red Hawk, but with Gear 3 attached.
Just so you guys know, a rock, the rock is it's a bird. It's another bird. So yeah, it's like Red Hawk, but now it's a Red Rock. Red Rock is a mythical bird.
Ooh.
Oh, he had a move called Red Rock before?
No, he had a move called Red Hawk.
Red Hawk is...
That was his gear second. That was his gear second when he set his fist on fire.
Yeah, this is basically the same move.
Red Rock. Oh, that's fire.
This is basically the same move, but with Gear 3 instead of Gear 2.
Yeah.
And,
okay.
Yeah, and Kaido felt that.
Hockey.
You see this tiny little panel where Kaido's like, what the fuck? And he finally introduces himself. He says, I am Monkey D. Luffy, and I am the man who will surpass you to become king of the pirates.
I heard the bitch ass before, and I'm repeating myself now.
I mean, Oda rarely does very special things for his like milestone chapters, but I mean, I guess it's kind of unavoidable. And not to say that this is like all that special. It is kind of just a continuation of the story. But it's such a great like tribute to his protagonist that really has had a Goku moment like that, like a very this was very reminiscent. It was very much the same thing when Goku came back from the land of the dead in the Saiyan saga, and he just walked past Vegeta and Nappa to check on Krillin, and it was like and gave him a senzu bean.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, I think Oda literally like was like, this is my ode to the original Dawn. This is my like tribute to Dragon Ball. The story that inspired me so much.
Wow, I didn't think of that.
And I don't know.
Awesome if that's the case.
I don't know, but that's how I got about it, because it's very reminiscent of those moments where Goku would come back and show support for his friends before he got into battle, making sure his boys are okay. The chapter itself is so fucking cool. That big 2-page spread is like poster worthy almost. If somebody can color that for me and put it on a fucking poster and send that over, that'd be sick. Yeah, the Red Rock too. Oh man, so much cool shit to say about this chapter. I'm gonna let you guys speak. I don't know.
You want to go first, Josh, or should I?
Go ahead, bro.
Okay, so there's so much to fucking love about this chapter. There's a few little mini takeaways that I noticed too, where like you see this panel here where Luffy puts on his hat. Mm-hmm. That's a Joy Boy thing.
What do you mean?
So, so you know how Joy Boy, right? Like
I know the
Joy
name.
Boy.
I know the name, but we haven't heard.
So
a lot about
him. This little panel silhouette of him putting on his hat is a connection to Joy Boy, because there's been panels before of Joy Boy with this exact like kind of silhouette putting on hat kind of thing.
Is
So
that
it's
right?
kind of further linking Luffy to Roger and Joy Boy.
It's funny. I don't really
Shanks.
remember any panels about Joy Boy himself. I don't recall ever seeing him,
It was like a silhouette of Joy Boy.
or even a silhouette.
Yeah, it's always a silhouette. Like, I don't think there's much about Joy Boy, but every time there is, it has something to do with the hat, with the straw hat.
I mean, yeah, that's cool.
And I'm really interested in like what Luffy's dream is, because obviously this isn't as simple as, oh, he's going to be king of the pirates, right? Like it's more to it. That I really do think is interesting. Because like that kind of response shouldn't bring out her crying. Oh well, not him. Him crying, like Yamato crying. Like this is so interesting. Like I wonder if there's something like what he could possibly want, like that could invoke that kind of response, you know?
Yeah. Oh man.
Maybe it's like a naive dream, like he wants to free the world or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, there's so many layers to One Piece. I mean, there's so much lore. People keep talking about the end, but I mean, I'm just here trying to enjoy this ride, dude. I'm so happy for what One Piece has become, and you know, it's my favorite series ever. I can't really say much else. It's one of the best. You gotta respect the gangster.
Yeah. The One Piece has completely redeemed itself from its soap fruit past.
Josh doesn't like the
I
soap.
can say 1,000 chapters in, there are no flaws to this series.
None at all. Man.
None.
Yeah, such a great chapter. I don't want to fawn over it forever because I can, but it's awesome. I mean,
I actually have one more thing to say.
what?
I think
Yeah, sure,
like
come on.
this whole like the trio of Kid, Law, and Luffy, I feel like it's so prominent because I feel like all three of them inherited something from Roger, you know? Like I think Luffy inherited his will, Kid inherited his power, and Law inherited his curiosity.
Yeah,
That's what I think.
maybe. I mean, they all have the will of D. Gold Roger also had it. He foresaw them basically. He knew that they were coming. It's cool.
Dude, Zoro was there, man. It's over for these niggas.
Yeah,
They don't get their head cut off.
I'll say this: Zoro
It's
has
probably gonna
actually
be Kaido.
Zoro
This
has
has
yet
to
to have
be-
been challenged since he got to the New World. It's kind of wild.
Yeah, I was just about to say this is going to be the first time there's a chance that Zoro would actually struggle so far after the time skip. You know how crazy that is?
Yeah,
That's
My
the
thing is,
only
like,
time he'll
Kid and
face
Killer
a
already
struggle.
got smashed by Kaido. I don't know what the fuck they're gonna contribute to this battle, but we'll see.
Yeah, maybe they trained. Maybe he also taught him Ryusui or Ryo.
Maybe.
Yeah, the Rio hockey. But damn, I was gonna say something but I forgot. But so good. Oh yeah, the only bummer about this is that all manga is off next week, so we don't get a new One Piece chapter right
Oh my
off the
God.
bat. It's very sad.
Bad life.
Yeah, it's your life. But we're eagerly anticipating not only One Piece but everything Jump has to offer. But I can't wait for One Piece. Holy shit! The final battles are set. I don't think we're actually gonna get the real meat and potatoes of the battle. We might get little like teases here and there, but I think the other battles have to settle first, in true One Piece fashion, where the one-on-ones have to go and they have to do their thing.
This is going to be a history book war. I mean, a history book battle in the One Piece world.
Oh, for sure.
Like this is going to be on par with what happened with the Rocks Pirates and shit.
Mm-hmm.
He's got the nation of Wano on his back.
Yeah. But with that being said, you guys ready to move on?
Yes, sir.
Oh yes.
It's time to randomize. Jujutsu Kaisen.
Jutsu.
Yeah.
Kaisen.
Yeah. This is Jujutsu Kaisen chapter 134, the Shibuya Incident part 51. Last we left off, Mahito was defeated by Itadori and then subsequently absorbed into Geto's cursed technique, which is now we're learning is... I think we've seen a version of this before, but we open up with him explaining, are you familiar with the maximum techniques? And I'm like, oh man, is this going to be the hockey of this world? Is this going to be
something new?
Mm-hmm. Something new, next level shit in Bankai?
Shikai?
Yeah. And basically explains that apart from domains, they are Cursed Technique's most supreme art. And one of them is the Maximum Uzumaki.
Excuse me.
And one of them is the Maximum Uzumaki, which combines all of the spirits I have absorbed into one and hits my opponent with super condensed energy. And I'm like, damn.
It's pretty strong. Sounds like the death beam.
Yeah. And basically he understands that he says that Uzumaki is powerful, but it means using the negated spirit manipulation's advantage. The great number of curses at my disposal. So the idea is that once he uses these things, he can't use them again. Like it gets rid of the numbers of cursed spirits he has. So at first I didn't find it all that exciting, but you know what? I was wrong. Its value is revealed when cursed spirits of semi-grade 1 or higher are used. The technique is extracted. And he basically eats Mahito.
Ooh.
Along with probably a bunch of others.
Shit, he does.
And as he's doing this, he peeps upward and he sees the Kyoto witch lady with the brooms like floating above him. And he looks up and is like, whoa, what is that? Oh shit, a signal. And he looks down and he sees the arrow dude from Kyoto firing off his arrows. He tries to dodge it. He actually gets like kind of almost wrecked by a sniper rifle, and he's like, whoa, you guys are using modern weapons. That's smart. I agree. And in that moment,
good old sniper rifle is in a really interesting sniper position too.
Yeah, he's got the his forearm stabilizing his sniper rifle.
Yeah, right. And he's just sitting like Indian style.
Yo, dude, it's a sick pose. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it is. Pretty sick pose.
Mm-hmm. This is a cool drawing in general. This is like cool as shit.
Then he starts using Mahito's ability. That shit is crazy.
Yeah, that was wild. And then we get the new shadow style chick who just like pulls up behind him and is like, I held on. She gives this like monologue about like how when she became a Jujutsu sorcerer, she'd never held a sword before, but she held on to that katana tightly because she didn't want to be a burden on her mother. And because she didn't want to die, I'm putting everything, my past, present, future, into this, even if it means I never swing a katana again. And she uses this ultimate technique, but Geto just catches that shit and says, you thought.
He breaks it too.
Yeah, he snaps her katana in half, and then you just pulls out the maximum Uzumaki on her. And I'm like, that's a little excessive.
Yeah, right. She's not even that strong.
Yeah, you're going to use your best technique. I mean, I guess I appreciate him not fucking around. But I'm like, damn. And if you look closely at the Uzumaki, you kind of see Mahito there. Like his stitches.
Oh, shit. Is that him there?
Mm-hmm. It's a really cool detail. And he just blasts them. And there's this big-ass crater from where the girl used to be. But she's saved because... Kasakube shows up and saves them in this cool samurai pose.
That uses the dark style,
yeah, sick fucking pose. And Panda Man shows up and he's like, Itadori, and Itadori this is the happiest I've seen him in a while. He's like, Panda Senpai and Kyoto dude. Yeah,
I think he comes over. He's like, Itadori. He's asking just to be sure that it's not Sukuna.
Yeah.
That's what I think he's doing there.
Oh, yeah. I think he's genuinely happy to see him. He's like, whoa, Panda Man. And that's when Choso shows up. And Choso's like pissed. He's like, wait a minute. I know this fucking guy. And he says, I have three parents. My mother, the cursed spirit that impregnated her, and the man who mixed his blood with theirs and toyed with my mother. And there was a man who has the same markings as Geto now has on his head. As we all know that the curse that's possessing Geto has been around for a while now. and it's separate from Geto himself. And Choso's like, so that's the deal, Noritoshi Kamo. And it turns out this is one of Geto's many names. The Geto curse is many names. He's like, call me whatever you want. That's one of my many names. And he's like, how dare you try to make me kill my little brother Itadori? And he charges him. But one of Geto's like henchmen pulls up, and she's about to fight, and that's kind of where the chapter ends.
What's his deal again? Did he get mind
Yeah.
controlled or something? Like,
I thought he was a cursed spirit.
He is.
yeah, he was, but he got like put like some memories got implanted in him or something.
Yes.
Like, what happened with that?
I'm
He's
a little
part
confused.
of his brother trio.
Yeah, and all of them are dead except for him, and he considers Itadori one of them.
And they died in like an arc before this, didn't they?
They died in this arc. One of them died. Like, he loses his last brother in this arc, I think.
Yeah, he does.
But I mean, this is a weird place to stop the chapter. I'm like,
Yeah, it was really weird.
you know, I mean, I thought it was pretty cool. Weirdly enough, this is actually the audience voted RGC of the week.
Oh, really? It's
It
not
was really lit. I liked it.
Yeah, man. This is the first time in a couple weeks that Black Clover was not the audience voted RGC. So good for you guys. Yeah, this is our.
good for you guys.
I mean, honestly, out of 114 votes, Jujutsu Kaisen won. Actually, Black Clover was kind of a close second. So, you know, at first I thought Black Clover was taking it because it was actually in the lead up top. But Jujutsu Kaisen came in, and I was excited for that. I don't want to just keep being like Black Clover wins every week. Not that I don't like Black Clover, but I'm like, are these the only fan bases that speak up? If you guys want to vote on your favorite chapter of the week, follow us on Twitter. We do a poll every Sunday, or whenever the chapter is out. Sometimes they come out on Friday, so keep tabs with us by following us there, and vote for next week. Well, 2 weeks from now, because Jump is off. But yeah, this Jujutsu Kaisen chapter was weird. I liked it, but it got weird at the end.
Yeah, it was a little interesting at the end, but it was a really dope chapter.
Yeah, I'm here for it, but I was like
this whole maximum technique thing.
Yeah,
adds another layer.
Yeah, same. But yeah, I mean, that was Jujutsu Kaisen, and that has been our show. Thank you guys so much for listening. We love you guys. Thank you guys so much. You can follow me at the Chris Aspinall, at b.esp, at jdcole_37. Follow the show itself at newjumpcitypod@gmail.com. Email us with any comments, questions, suggestions, anything you guys want to talk to us about, or comment on the video below wherever you're listening. Is that it? Leave us a 5-star review on iTunes. Subscribe to us on iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, wherever you listen to podcasts. Or subscribe to us on YouTube. Like and comment, share the podcast. We love you guys so much. Thank you so much for listening. Stay safe, New Jump citizens, and Happy New Year.
Brian, do you know the shadow possession jutsu? Can you teach it to me?
Yes, sir.